Okay, here we are. It's hard when the market's correcting, and today, I guess you want to call it Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon. Or is it Tuesday evening in Asia? No, it's early Tuesday morning now, 2 a.m. It's approaching Tuesday night in Europe. Anyway, so crypto vlog, February 21st, 2023. NFTs are heating up still. A lot of FUD going on about pudgies. I was the number one floor NFT floor abused by Blur. They were setting large walls and sweeping 100 and then dropping their buy wall, and people were going in and then they were dumping. I don't know how it worked. People were getting front run. They were trying to do some TA on NFTs. You can do TA on NFTs, but it's all wash traded for Blur. That's why it's so funny. But they're like, no, it's not wash trades because they're not buying and selling to the same person. They're buying the NFT, selling it to another person, right? They're not selling into their own bids, are they? They allowed to do that? No, that would be wash trading. Use another wallet. How would they know? There's no way to tell, actually. Well, actually, if the same NFTs get wash traded over and over versus holding like 50 and then these 50 get wash traded and those 30 and then 20. Anyway, there's ways around it, but they're more complicated for algorithms to detect. Anti-sibling or farming airdrops for Blur. So it worked out for that one whale I posted about. He spent, like, my initial estimate was 150,000, then it went up to like 400,000 because I checked incoming ETH and outgoing ETH. But he made like 1.2 million in Blur, somewhere around there, or 1 million. So it was a good trade-off for him to civil. But sibling carries risks. You're not sure you're going to get the airdrop. They're going to detect you, etc. So sometimes you do lose money, but it worked out for that guy. He did it for like 90 days or 120 days. The markets, man. Correction day. Pseudo corrected from 420 to 220. Are you kidding me? How is that not a buy? A lot of times you see a chart that's straight down, you just abandon it. Sometimes it does go to zero, true. But, I mean, it winds down, grinds down, and then as a dead cat, bounce to like 50% of your entry point. I bought the dip at 3 and it kept dipping to 220. All my NFTs, X2, Y2, I bought the dip at 10 cents, now it's 9. Blur, I bought the dip at $1.25. Now it's $1. Like, can't do anything right. No, that's just the market correcting. So everyone's a genius in the bull market, but on correction days, everyone's a loser. Unless you hedge, and then people that are short or hedged are geniuses. So we knew this week was going to be super shaky. It's the anniversary, February 24th, which would be Friday, because yesterday was President's Day in the US, so markets were closed. So it's the anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine, which sent shockwaves through the markets in crypto and NFTs, etc. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's shaky to be in, but you don't want to cut too early if we're in the echo, right? But nobody knows where the top is. You can't see outside the echo when you're inside the echo until it's all over. So a lot of people like to de-risk after a huge 3-day weekend. 3-day weekends have been traditionally great for alts. Remember, we had a nice one before FOMC in June, I think, before we nuked from 30K to 18K. So it was a nice 3-day week. What would that be, Labor Day? I always get the holidays mixed up. But we move on to the China pumps, right? Everyone wants to know about what the hell is going on with the Hong Kong pumps. What triggered Hong Kong Fooey or Hong Kong mania? Well, it was little tweet. So first we had the China narratives because the CFX going ape. So China wasn't really buying. Americans and Europeans and other Asians were buying. I guess I include Africa there. and South Americans and Canadians. You got to include Canadians. They always get left out. And even Mexicans, because they're part of North America. Oh, okay. So the China narrative, CFX went crazy with that futures listing. Went all the way to from 22 cents when the listing was announced, or 21 and a half, all the way to oh man, because it went to 31 cents a few hours later on the Hong Kong news, which I'll talk about in a minute, and then it retraced to 26 cents during the day, and then it bounced all the way to 36 cents or so. It's crazy. I think 0.3666 was the high. Now it dumped to 28 and a half cents when Bitcoin topped at 25.2. Incoming like 3 minutes before, CZ said, say it with me, bull run, bull CZ. And then it got sent down. That was a great short. You always short. Remember, you always short when a CEO talks about their coin or the price of Bitcoin or BNB, because we had that Axie, what's the token? AXS, where the CEO was talking about all the lock supply and how they're going to burn him. SLP. And then Axie's just went up like 10 or 20% and then nuked. So it did go up initially though. But usually you can just short Bitcoin whenever CZ tweets about the price. Except in a bull run, then you can't. This is just an echo, so it's good for shorting. Okay, and then the associated pump of ACH Alchemy Pay. Alchemy Pay had like 50% of the full length of CFX Conflux. It went from about 1 cent a month ago to, what was the peak? 4.95 cents, so almost 5 cents. That was a great target. I wish I held my bag at 0.5. I would have made 3x on the Nacho from the Nacho tweet. But the volatility was insane because it went to 227 and then back to 0.14. I was actually negative, and I started to cut as I was in profit. It's just it's safe. It's safe to cut when you're in profit. It's hard to hold the whole way. Supposedly DCL held the majority of the way. He realized like 70% of the full 10x pump of CFX, something crazy like that. Maybe not, maybe 50%, maybe a 5x on his 50K investment or whatever he put in. I think he did make around 300K off that Conflux call, which is pretty impressive to hold that whole way. But he had the capital to do that. He's obviously has over 7 figures. Probably has a few million. I don't think he has 8 figures, but mid 7. So pretty impressive. Pump from DCL, the dark crypto lady. Did she initiate the pump? Well, she had the big tweets at 3.5 cents. So even though she didn't initiate, she helped spark the vision in a lot of people's minds to hold that way. Okay, so yeah, Alchemy Pay was sort of going back and forth. When one was getting sold off, then ACH would bounce, and then back to CFX once ACH got sold off, and they just kept putting new highs and new highs, which is crazy. I did buy high. I don't know what I was thinking at 340. I saw high. They're like, do we ape back into high? Because it was called by Twitter over on Friday, and it had a nice pump from like 320 to 370 or so. So high was sitting at 340, and of course it's a China coin. Oh yeah, I'll talk about the Hong Kong news. So Hong Kong set to legalize crypto assets, or I'm not sure of the exact headline. I was so focused on the coins, but definitely influenced the pumps that we saw on Monday, on President's Day, because all the China coins got sent, and then the associated Hong Kong coins. So here come the Hong Kong coins. which teams are from Hong Kong. Alchemy Pay is actually from Singapore, which is funny. But Hong Kong, who's from Hong Kong? This coin, that coin, that coin. Well, the initial news then at a few hours later, so it was like 5:21 or so Pacific time, 8:21 a.m. on Monday morning Eastern time, then 2:30 p.m. In Europe, 4:30 p.m. in Turkey. I got to make that donation of $100 to the Turkish survivors or for funeral costs. And in Asia, that would have been, Asia was probably up. That would have been 10 p.m. in Asia, 9 or 10 p.m. in Asia. When the news of, okay, you're going to be shocked. I actually forgot the coin name. Okay, it's coming back. It's coming back. It wasn't Bell. Bell had a crazy pump, and then all the alts got sent. It's crazily. They were just on a mission to get sent. Bell and some other pumps. Stex. I could talk about the Stex pump too. This Bitcoin NFT narratives are picking up. Hi. So, what's the name of the coin? They partnered with iOS. They become the ties with partnership with Hong Kong and China. It was just such a scam headline. It got sent from 24.5 to, I'm not sure of the decimal point, maybe 0.0244, all the way to 36. So a 50% gain at the peak. Of course, a lot of people sold early. Hook trade sold for about 10%. Still decent profits. Low 5 figures probably. I forgot. Then people were like aping the dip. It was good because it dipped to like back to 28, and then it bounced to 33, and then it bled out again. Now it's at 28 or so. I forgot the name of the coin. I'm sorry. I was just shocked by the news, like how manufactured the headline was. They even wrote a Medium article 4 hours after the Hong Kong, or 5 hours after the Hong Kong news broke, that they're legalizing certain crypto assets. So then during the day, a few hours, people were like trying to brainstorm, what are the big Hong Kong coins? What are the big Hong Kong coins? Hong Kong coins. Let's see. They were brainstorming. I saw on Discord there are a few mentioned. The one, of course, I have to talk about is Lina. Somehow, Tomo got snuck in there with OX Ganymede because it's Vietnamese, but still it's on there. But maybe that's why it didn't pump so hard. It did pump 20% and then retraced a little bit. Okay, so High, I got to talk about High as well. That went from 340. I wasn't going to mention that Nacho tweeted instantly, got sent from 350 to 376 or so, and then it went all the way to 425. Then it dipped to 385, and I bought the dip, and then it went to like 439, and I didn't sell. And I also doubled down at 420. I didn't sell 439, and now I'm a bag holder because it went all the way to 363 or so when Bitcoin retraced from 25.2 to 24.25. But yeah, why did I buy so high at 420? It's one of those things. You see it going up and up, like, oh, it's so strong, let me ape. But there was like no technicals, no risk assessment when I bought. It said, okay, it has to go this high or you got to cut. I didn't do that. So I should have. The reason I didn't buy at 340 when I knew the China narrative was spreading and knew they were talking about it all over Twitter on Friday was I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to sit in the long, basically. If it was spot, I probably would have bought, but I didn't want to sit in a 20K long, a 50K long. What's great about those plays is you can just sit in them and wait. The problem is you don't know how to wait. If it's only a couple hours, if you know the time that the tweets are coming. I was asleep. 8:30. Yeah, it was actually 8 hours. So I guess right before Nacho went to sleep. Oh, he was up late. If he's on Australia, that would be like 3:30. I'm not sure if he's in Europe or Australia now. But it got sent hard. Is that almost 30%? High and hard. It got sent high and hard for sure. No, it wasn't 30%. It was it was almost 30%. What am I thinking? I have two different numbers in my head, but it got sent 25%. There we go. We'll compromise. And it's just that's such an easy play, and I got to stress over like buying TA plays during the day. Like, here's a dip, let me buy it. Here's this, let me rotate it in a million different coins and wait for the pump. Versus the one coin they were talking about. So they talk about one coin, then it's flat, and the narrative starts to pick up interest again because we had the Hong Kong narrative pumping with the China narrative. This synergistic reaction of narratives, crazy, right? It's the first time we had two narratives working together. Then it was such an easy ape to get back into high and ACH and CFX, but CFX was already up 6x, 7x, so do you ape? Yeah. But some people, I aped ACH because I'm like, oh, it's only up 2x. Let me ape at 3.3 cents, then I aped more at like 3.6 cents on the dip from 4.4, so. Anyway, and it's funny, my original sell target of 4.75 cents would have hit, but I cut halfway at like 4.1 cents. So I missed out on like 6,000. I still made nice, like 26,000 or something, 27,000 off it. ACH, the whole move up. half I made on this China pump, and then the other half I made on the narrative over the last couple weeks. Oh, here's a helicopter. So and then the big pump, the final pump I have to talk about is Lina. A lot of people, I used to say Lina, but it's obviously Lina. It's like a line, right? Some people say Lina. Pretty sure it's Lina. Was the Hong Kong token, and it got sent, man. I should have bought, because they were talking about, it was one of the coins mentioned in Discord before. It was spread all over Twitter. I think MetaQuant was one of the earliest mentions of Lina. And I'm like, I don't want to sit in another Hong Kong coin. I played the ACH China pump. I didn't even buy CFX at all. Well, I did a couple weeks ago, but liquidated. What do you got there, Liberty? He's hiding deep underground just because they went in the bush. You're not gonna find him. Oh, there's Bonnie sitting at that tree. Let me get a close-up of her. That's all the close-up you're gonna get, but there she is. Yeah, so Lina got sent from like 0.09 to crazy. It went to 0.17, so almost 2x on spot. And then on futures, on Bybit and Gate, it got sent to like 0.0155, so it was lagging by about 9%. What a pump. Of course I didn't sell the top. I'm gonna bag hold like CFX. I won't get liquidated this time unless the market has a full nuke 50% retrace of alts. I'm leveraged about 2x. So we'll see what happens. Maybe 3x. Oh, that's never good. 2x is safe leverage for volatility. If you're playing the beginning of the news, you can do 10x, 20x, whatever. But if you're holding, then you don't want to go over 3x, ideally not over 2x to avoid liquidation. So we haven't had a major correction in alts yet. The crypto Yunkai was the big pumper of. I wonder if crypto Yunkai is even Chinese. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in this market. So crypto Yunkai got sent, official sender, from 009 to 0012, and then I'm like, or 012, and then I'm like, it's up 30%. Am I really gonna ape? And then I thought about it more. I'm like, the price is held for 4 hours here. Let me go ape. Then literally, I was talking about it, and then I checked the price, and it had broken out. it was already like 0.0125. So I'm like, oh, I'll just ape. And I aped. And then it went higher. It went 30% higher, but it didn't TP. Of course, and then the NFT coins, Blur, Pseudo dumped all the way from 420. I talked about it to 220. So I'm down about 3K on that. And then my 10K buy in Blur at 125. I'm down 2K on. And then finally, X2Y2, because no one cares about it. I'm only down 1K. So 3, 2, 1, that's 6K out of 30. And not looking good for me, but especially because there's no guarantee we bounce here. But I do like the support at 0.068 on BTC or ETH BTC price. So hopefully we bounce for a few days. But again, this market's super shaky. Anniversary of the Russian invasion, I wouldn't trust it. NFTs should be popping. Puma, they're doing their snapshot. If you want to check Discord to make sure they didn't do the snapshot of the Puma NFT holders to mint the new Puma NFT. The floor is like 0.45 ETH. NFT cost public mint is 0.15, so maybe it's good for a 2 or 3x pump. Yeah, so NFTs are starting to grind up at least when the market's shaky. Yeah, so watch out for the invasion. And to my commenters, Tyroke, thank you for the nice comments. Jamie, this is weird because I only had 3 comments, but I don't remember who commented. So there's going to be a lot of rewards. I was reading the comments. Oh, DGen Boy. Who commented? Tyroke was talking about bugs. He also mentioned another coin. I forgot. So yeah, a lot of rotations going on. Oh yeah, Morpheus. He was talking about Morpheus. So just you got to be primed. And he said he talked about the fractals, the NFT token fractal. The first fractal when Blur came out, sent it from 40 cents to $1.40. And then you got to wait for the correction fractal. And then the third fractal is the next leg up. So really interesting. But that first wave hype is so important on Pseudo from 420 or from like 220 to 420, then back to 220. The first wave hype, because there's no guarantee there's going to be a second wave hype, even though we like to think in this market we're going to have continuation. That's it. I'll close it off. Thank you for all the comments. And yeah, so there was another ordinal NFT token. I talked about ORD and OBTC, and then we had Orch, ordinal chain. Like, come on. Orch did like 5 or 6x, but not as much as the huge pumps in OBTC and ORD. So Orch, if you saw it after like the first hour, you could have made 2 or 3x, but that's it. All right, see you guys later. Next time, onwards and upwards. Remember, TradFi, if you still want to bid, the price is bleeding out a bit. You can get one for like 1.6 WAIF, and hopefully it goes for like 5 ETH or 0.25 BTC. Hopefully it's really up there. Actually, that would be 0.3. Okay, good luck, everyone. I'll see you in the next vlog. Sorry for the lack of excitement. It's sad when the market corrects, but it happens. It's healthy. Next wave down, I'm not looking forward to because I might get liquidated, but we'll see.